Martell, because honestly, he seems to be the one that everyone is both scared of and annoyed with. People keep calling him crazy, but when you look closely, it feels like there's more truth than lies in what he says. He may exaggerate, he may add little twists to make his story sound more believable, but deep down, you can tell he's not just making everything up. Martell has nothing to lose, his marriage is gone, his businesses are in shambles, and his reputation has taken a huge hit. That's a dangerous place for a man to be in, because when someone has nothing left to lose, they can go to extremes. And you can see it in how Martell interacts with the others. He's always ready to expose something, always ready to put people on blast. And the funny part is, it feels like Maurice and Marceau are actually scared of him. They don't want to push him too far, because they know Martell isn't afraid to drop receipts. Think about that fight at Madani. Martell was going after Marceau, and who jumped in? Maurice. Why? Because even Maurice knew that if Martell really let loose, Marceau's ass was about to get beat. That says a lot. They can laugh, they can downplay him, but deep down, they know Martell can flip that switch and take it to another level. It's almost like they treat him as both a friend and a threat at the same time. They want to keep him close, but not too close, because they never know when he might explode. That's not the kind of friendship you want, but clearly they can't let go either. And here's where things get even crazier. You'd think with all the tension, they'd want to sit down and clear the air, right? Nope. When it came time for the guy's outing, Maurice flat out said he wasn't having a conversation with Martell. He called him a liar and didn't want to give him the chance to expose him on national television. Let's be real, that's the only reason. If Martell is really lying, why not sit down and shut him down with the truth? Why avoid him unless you're scared that what he says might actually have some weight to it? That's exactly why Maurice dodged that part conversation too. He didn't want anything to slip out about Tisha, and he definitely didn't want to be caught looking stupid in front of the cameras. That tells me Martell is holding something heavy over all of them, and they know it. Now, here's where you've got to stick around because this part is unbelievable. Maurice tried to spin his whole DUI story, and let's just say the way he explained it sounded like a bad movie script. He talked about leaving black with Kimmy, said she dropped him off, then claimed he hit an animal, then a tree, then a pole. I mean, come on. Which one was it, Maurice? And the part that really doesn't add up is Kimmy's own version of events. She literally said on Carlos King's show that she left in her own car, went home, and went to bed while Maurice stayed. Out to party more. So how in the world could she have dropped him off at his office if she wasn't even with him? That's two completely different stories. Somebody's lying, and it's clear Maurice is trying to patch together a version that makes him look less guilty. But when you have court documents that already show Martell pleaded guilty, how can you sit on stage and say you didn't? The lies are so obvious that even Martell himself had to laugh at it. And speaking of laughing, Martell's face during that whole DUI explanation said it all. He was looking at Maurice like, "Really, bro? You expect us to believe this?" It was embarrassing. And it makes you wonder how much Kimmy really knows versus how much she just lets slide to protect her marriage. If you ask me, she probably knows more than she lets on, but chooses to play along because walking away isn't something she's willing to do. It's like all of these wives, Tisha included, have what you could call Stockholm Syndrome. They stay no matter what, even when the proof is staring them right in the face. And that's exactly why Marceau and Maurice can be so bold. They know their wives aren't leaving, no matter what Martell brings to the table. When Arionne's name comes into the mix, everything shifts. You can see it in Martell's body language the moment she's mentioned. He might play it cool on the surface, but deep down, he knows Arrion is his biggest weakness and his biggest tie to the past he can't escape. She isn't just some side story, she's a walking reminder of his mistakes, his downfall, and the reason his marriage with Melody crumbled in front of the world. But at the same time, Arrion has leverage over him because they share a child together. That means she will forever be in his life whether he likes it or not. And when you add in the rumors about her past, the stories of her being involved with multiple people, and even whispers of trains being run on her, it paints a picture that Martell should be running from, not holding on to. Yet, here he is still talking about marrying her. Now, why would he say something like that? Simple. He wants to hurt Melody. Every time Martell mentions marriage with Arrion, it feels less like love and more like revenge. It's like he's using Arrion as a pawn in his game of, look what I can do without you. He knows Melody moved on. He knows she's glowing without him. And deep down, that burns him. So he puts Arrion in the spotlight, not because he respects her or truly wants to build a life with her, but because it gives him a chance to poke at Melody's peace. But here's the truth. A man that truly wants to marry a woman doesn't have to announce it to the world every other week. He just does it. The fact that Martell keeps talking about it without taking any action says it all. It's not real. It's just a storyline, a way to get attention, and a way to keep Melody in his shadow, even though she's clearly outgrown him. But let's not skip past the most shocking part. When Ken, Martell's so-called workout buddy, revealed that he knew Arrion personally and that she had even been over to his house, the look on Martell's face was priceless. That was not the face of a man who was secure about his woman. That was the face of a man caught off guard, maybe even embarrassed, because once again Arrion was being connected to the same group of people he tries to separate her from. And this isn't just about her showing up once or twice. It's about the fact that she's been tied to the crew more than Martell wants anyone to know. It confirms that Huntsville is small, that everybody knows everybody, and that these so-called secrets don't stay hidden for long. And let's talk about Tisha and Marceau for a moment, because their names keep coming up in these conversations. Every time Martell threatens to expose something, every time he hints at knowing secrets, you can bet the Scotts are holding their breath. Remember that reunion where Marceau got called out with that suspicious text about a midday surprise? That wasn't just some innocent message. It was suggestive, it was shady, and yet, just like always, it got brushed under the rug. Tisha saw the proof, she saw the picture, but instead of demanding answers, she chose to stay silent. That's the pattern here. These wives see the red flags, they see the receipts, but they'd rather hold on to their marriage than face the truth. And that's exactly why the men keep doing what they do. Now back to Maurice, because honestly, his DUI story deserves its own spotlight. The way he tried to spin it with hitting an animal, then a tree, then a pole, it's laughable. And the best part? Nobody even knows what animal he claims he hit. Was it a squirrel? A dog? An ant? The story changes every time he tells it, and that's what makes it even more suspicious. If you were really telling the truth, the story wouldn't need to shift. But when you're making things up as you go along, the details never match up. And the fact that Kimmy's version directly contradicts his just proves that one of them is lying. Kimmy said she left in her own car and went home, so how could she have dropped him anywhere? That's impossible, which means Maurice is trying to rewrite history to save face. But in the process, he's making himself look guilty, and Martell knows it. That's why he laughed, because even though people love to call Martell messy or crazy, he has this way of exposing the cracks in other people's stories without even trying. His laugh during DUI story wasn't just him being petty. It was him saying, I know the real truth, and you can lie all you want, but I've got the receipts. And that's what keeps everyone on edge around him. They never know when he's going to pull out something that changes the entire narrative.